What's up, beautiful people? Jen here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jenna Lee, the internet's girl next door, aka Jen Sparkly, commander of the Sparkle Army. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel and hanging out in my little corner of the internet. I hope you'll stay. I promise. I'm a ton of fun. Welcome. This is episode 2 of a new series I'm doing called Jen's 10s, where I basically rank my top 10 favorite or least favorite everything. Today, in case you guys didn't know, I'm a music fanatic. Like, yes, I was a band kid and I've always had an affinity for music. I also fancy myself a writer, so I have a deep connection to well-written lyrics. But I also have that guilty pleasure side of me who is an absolute dyed-in-the-cloth, lifelong fan of just pure, cheesy, frothy pop music. I am a professional boy band fan, owning everything from New Kids on the Block to Backstreet to NSYNC to One Direction. But we're focusing on the women today, and I am going to rank for you guys my top 10 Britney Spears songs. Hang out. What's up, beautiful people? What's up, beautiful people? What's up, beautiful people? What's up, beautiful people? Alright, so coming in at number 10 is the song Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know from Oops, I Did It Again. This was a single, but it wasn't one of the higher charting singles from Oops, I Did It Again. That album was such a commercial juggernaut because it had the singles Oops, I Did It Again and Stronger and Lucky, and it was just massive. It was promoted and boosted by her performance at the VMAs where she did the striptease to her cover of Satisfaction. It was just a massive piece of pop culture history. And so while this song was not the biggest success commercially, it didn't make a dent in the impact this album had on pop culture. It was written and produced by Mutt Lange, who is Shania Twain's now ex-husband, and now we all know scumbag. But he was notorious for writing all of Shania Twain's music. He really kind of helped create the Shania Twain sound from the mid-90s until their divorce. So he definitely has a knack for creating good music for female singers. And this is no different. Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know is not your typical dancey pop type song, and Britney Spears, who has never been known for her powerful pipes as a singer, does sing more on this track. As her career progressed, we see that she really kind of veered away from slower tempo songs and kind of stayed more on the side of electro pop and dance pop, which is clearly more her forte. But this is such a beautiful song, and it was just always a favorite of mine. So yes, number 10, Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know. Number 9 is Let Me Be from the album Britney. This was a favorite of mine the day that I bought this CD. And yes, I bought it the day it came out. The whole album Britney, I feel like some people slept on. Yes, it had I'm a Slave for You, and it had Overprotected, and it had that, I'm sorry, but just that god-awful I'm Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman song. I dare you to find any live footage of Britney Spears performing that song in the last 10 years. You won't find it. I understand that it was a tie-in for Crossroads, and that was kind of going on at that time, and that was when Britney and Justin were at their zenith as a teen pop power couple. But yes, Let Me Be it was a definite departure from some of her earlier sounds. You know, Justin had kind of worked with her a little bit on production, as had Wade Robson. We learned more about that later, didn't we? But Let Me Be almost had a, not quite auto-tuned, but it had a more electronic tinge on her vocals than some of her earlier dance tracks had. And it definitely had a kind of an up-tempo, almost like an off-kilter, I don't know how to explain it without sounding like just a total music nerd. But the chorus was not just your typical da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da rhyme scheme. Instead, it ended on upbeats. You think that you know me now, but you don't think that I can't stand on my own in my philosophy. Won't you just let me be? And it just had like a funkier, almost up-tempo swing to it than a lot of her previous stuff did. So definitely check out Let Me Be from the album Britney. Number 8 is Trouble for Me from Femme Fatale. I don't know if you guys are noticing a theme here, but none of these are radio singles. I like all of her radio songs. They were all fine and dandy, but for me, with a lot of my pop music, my absolute favorite stuff is the stuff that you're not going to hear on the radio. And this is another case of that. This is from the album Femme Fatale. The song is called Trouble for Me. And the whole premise of the song is being out in a club and spotting a guy that you really, really want, but you just know you shouldn't. And the chorus is, you're so good for everybody else, and that's trouble for me. And like, that's the whole idea, is that every girl loves him, every guy wants to be his best friend, and you know that you have this intense sexual chemistry with him, and you know better, you know what's going to happen if you hook up with him. It's just going to be trouble. We've all been there, right? Of course we have. Definitely check out Trouble for Me off Femme Fatale. It's my number 8. Number 7, My Prerogative off her first number ones collection. Yes, this is a cover. This is not a Britney Spears original, as it were, but her cover of it had such a sharp, attitudinal feel. This came out right at the zenith of the Britney Spears, Kevin Federline, Britney, what are you doing? Running around with this guy who is a backup dancer who already has like 50 million kids with his girlfriend. What are you doing, Britney? I think we were all at that phase with her, like, woman. And as someone who is the exact same age as her, I know that she was probably just going through a phase where she was so tired of everyone controlling her every moment, her every thought, her every word, that it was almost like running off with this Kevin Federline girl was almost like a middle finger to him, like, I'm going to do what I want. And releasing My Prerogative at this time as the single for the number ones collection at this time, I can't stress that enough. You'll never convince me that that was just a coincidence. That was Britney saying, this is my prerogative. I'll do what I want to do. And it comes across in the track, especially in the video when they show footage of the two of them getting married, right when she's saying the why can't I live my life without all of the things people say lines over it. Really, really cool version of the song. And definitely for hardcore Britney Spears fans, almost like a landmark, an earmark, a post in the story of Britney Spears. So definitely my number 7 is My Prerogative off of her first number ones collection. Number 6, Inside Out off Femme Fatale. This is another one of those songs that's a deep cut, as it were. Definitely a song that if you weren't familiar with the album, you may not have heard it before. It did not get any mainstream attention. It did not get any radio play. It was not a single for the album. However, I fell in love with it again the first time I heard it. The idea of the song is that she's at home and she knows that her soon-to-be ex for good is on his way over, and she knows that the relationship is pretty much done, but she's getting herself dolled up and she's hoping that they can just have one more night before it's donezo, as it were. Kind of not unlike Love You Goodbye by One Direction. The whole idea is just, if we're not going to be together after this, let's do what we do best one more time. And that's kind of the chorus. Just turn me inside out. No one can do to me what you do to me. So let's do that again. I think we've all had an ex like that, where it's like, oh my gosh, your penis is great. I just hate that you're attached to it. That is a damn shame. So yeah, number 6, Inside Out off Femme Fatale. Number 5, my all-time favorite karaoke song is If You Seek Amy from Circus. This was released as a single but wasn't heavily promoted. My guess has always been that it's because of the play on words that is the song title. And if you haven't heard the song and you read If You Seek Amy, you think, okay, what does that mean? But it's a matter of saying it quickly enough that you hear what she's saying when she's saying something else. And by that I mean the last line of the chorus is, all of the boys and all of the girls are begging to F-U-C-K me. Think about it. Number 5, If You Seek Amy off Circus. Number 4, Man in the Moon off Glory. I have been saying this since it came out, but if you are a true blue Britney Spears fan and you do not own a copy of Glory, what are you doing? Y'all are sleeping on Glory. This is her best work probably since Circus. She sounds happy on the tracks. She sounds like she's enjoying herself recording. Her voice sounds better than it has in years. It's not all just electro pop and auto-tune, kind of smoke and mirrors hiding her voice's weaknesses. She has clearly been working with a vocal coach again, and she has truly been busting her butt to get her voice back in shape. And it shows on every single track on Glory. She sounds amazing. And this song, Man in the Moon, there's like 3 or 4 tracks on Glory that I'm obsessed with. But when I had to just pick one for this list, and wink wink, there's probably going to be down the line another top 10 Britney songs, because I have way too many to not do another list. But it's just such a pretty song, and it reminds me a lot of that era of Britney from like 01, 02. Just very girly and carefree, and her voice just sounds better than it has in years. So definitely check out Man in the Moon. That is number 4 on my top 10 list. Number 3, Every Time from In the Zone. This will be the sole choice from In the Zone. I know everyone loved that CD. It was not a favorite of mine, especially coming on the heels of Britney, which I loved. In the Zone was a little bit of a letdown for me, but I did really love the song Every Time. Evidently, it was written about the breakup with Justin Timberlake, and if you listen to the lyrics, it's clear as day that it could very well be about that. The video originally was supposed to end with her committing suicide after the fight with the boyfriend, and they changed it in the end for her to have like a revelation in the hospital, seeing the baby born, and this, that, and the other. But the song, lyrically and with Britney's almost baby doll voice, it expresses hurt in a way that more powerhouse vocalists wouldn't be able to do it. Her voice not having that booming Christina Aguilera-esque timbre benefits this song, because you can express that hurt so much more if your voice sounds a little weaker. So yeah, number 3 every time from In the Zone. Number 2, my number 2 favorite Britney Spears song of all time is Stronger from Oops, I Did It Again. One of the best, we're breaking up, but I don't give a damn because I don't need you anyway kind of songs. Love it, love it, love it, always have. If you haven't heard it by now, it was a huge hit back in the Oops, I Did It Again days. The video is amazing. The choreography with the chair, the hush, just stop. Oh, great stuff. Back when Britney Spears was just a tear the frickin' house down dancer before all the knee surgeries and everything. But yes, Stronger off Oops. Check it out. Now, before I share my number 1 favorite Britney Spears song of all time, I do have a couple of honorable mentions. And wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There will likely be another list because there's my list of songs that I was compiling just for my top 10. But as far as honorable mentions goes, her Christmas song, My Only Wish This Year, I listen to it at Christmas time every year without fail. Check it out if you haven't heard it. It should go in your playlist right up there with the Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. I promise you. Do it. Unusual You off Circus. A really sweet love song that's just like nothing you do is typical, nothing you do is everything you do is unusual, and I love you for being unusual you. It's a beautiful song. Check it out. You Got It All. Now this You Got It All is a cover from an 80s band called The Jets. This cover, it's probably on the internet now, but for hardcore Britney fans, it was a very, very hard to find song for many, many years. I had it because I had bought the VHS copy of Backstreet Boys All Access. Make fun of me, I know you're gonna. But it came with a Jive Records sampler that had a Backstreet Boys song on it, a guy named Don Philippe, who actually did a duet with Britney on Baby One More Time, look for it. And then it had the Britney Spears You Got It All song on it. And I just loved it. It's old Britney when she was like 15, 16, 17, before she had really worked out the, oh baby, baby, like nasally baby voice thing that she chose to go with, or that her people made her go with. Original doll, cough, cough. We'll cover that another time. But yeah, if you can track it down, listen to her cover of You've Got It All. Hard to find, but worth it. And finally, my number 1 favorite Britney Spears song of all time is Piece of Me from Blackout. I kind of had to chuckle to myself when I realized that my all-time favorite Britney Spears song was actually off of an album where she was probably the most checked out of the entire process. The song Piece of Me is one of the few tracks on that album. You know, I say that, but the whole album is good. Radar, Hot as Ice, Ooh Ooh Baby, like there's a lot of good songs on there, so don't sleep on Blackout if you are. But Piece of Me just has those lyrics that you've never heard Britney sing before. Been Miss American Dream since I was 17, don't matter if I step on the scene or sneak away to the Philippines, you're still going to put pictures of my derriere in the magazines. You Want a Piece of Me. Just, it's the first time Britney Spears had ever sung or performed like that. And to hear her say that, I think everyone collectively just, whoa, you know. I'm Mrs. Extra Extra this just in. Now she's too fat. Now she's too thin. Like, she really does take aim at the paparazzi who, during this time, because she was, this was the bad spell for Britney. And she was just in a bad, bad way during this time. So it's nice to have this song and even that whole album as a reminder of where things can go. But it's also a sign that things can get better. What are your favorite Britney Spears songs? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe. Subscribe to all of my social media. Links are going to be in the description box below. And if you like me and you like what I'm doing, become a patron. Information is in the description box. PayPal is also in the description box. Want to hang out with me? I've got a Discord. Check that out too. It's new, it's small, we're building, we're growing. Get in on the ground floor while the Sparkle Army is still filling up. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys next time. Stay beautiful.